Behind home plate, we bringing it to them all day. You know what's up? Welcome to Birdland. Win or lose, we bringing it to you always. You know what's up? Welcome to Birdland. Orange or black, we rebuild the pack. No matter where we at, you know we coming back. Section 336, we on this, so tune in. You know what's up? Welcome to Birdland. Yeah, welcome to Birdland. You know what's up? Welcome to Birdland. Now, here come the boys from Section 336.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, Baltimore sports fans of all ages, welcome to Section 336, the next generation of Baltimore sports talk. I am your daily string host. As always, I'm joined by the button lover, Josh Roca.
Hey, Matt, I think this is one of my favorite episodes of the year because it's probably the only tradition we have at Section 336, and it means that opening day is around the corner.
Yeah, the only one that's left, at least.
Yes, correct.
And it does. Thursday is setting up to be an all-time sports day here in Baltimore. We got the, opening day. Then in the evening, we're going to have the Sweet 16 with Maryland, who, if you didn't fall in love with Derek Queen repping Baltimore at the end in that interview after he made the game-winning buzzer-beating shot, then I don't know what's wrong with you.
He is guaranteed to get the opportunity to throw out a first pitch out of Camden Yards.
Oh, yeah. Guaranteed. Yeah, it's true. And
now
just
for that post-game
hope the Wizards
comment.
draft him. Yeah.
Simple comment.
Yeah. But great comment. What a stud he is.
Yes.
We're also joined today by Silas. He's back on the show, my son Silas. And he's prepared for bold predictions, Josh. He's got some notes here he wrote out. So he's ready to go.
And Silas, why are you prepared for bold predictions?
Or just predictions?
Because you're from Baltimore.
Uncle Josh is reminding you that even though you've now lived in Macon almost,
right.
We're approaching half your life.
You're not from Macon, you're from Baltimore. Yeah. It's still the quote you got to lean into.
Yeah.
Yeah. Did I tell you that I was it today or yesterday? I think it was yesterday that I was interviewed for the Baltimore Sun.
Oh no, you didn't tell me that.
Yeah, I was.
For what purpose?
What's the guy over there? Calvin
Meyer, yeah.
Calvin Meyer, yeah. Really interesting, right? And it ties right in with our bold predictions because he's writing an article about how fans are feeling going into the season.
So I bet you prepped for the interview, so it means you actually did some show prep for
I didn't prep for that interview. I didn't need to prep for that interview.
All right,
but it seemed in talking to him that he's getting a lot of people kind of negative about the state of the Orioles.
Negative.
And negative because they didn't spend all this money in the offseason and they didn't re-sign Santander and they didn't re-sign Corbin Burns.
Oh, yeah, that was annoying.
And I'm like, there's nothing on this team to be pessimistic about this year. And we're gonna see it in our bold predictions, I think.
Okay. Are you aware that our starting five could be made of people who get senior discounts at restaurants? It doesn't bother you, the age of our starting rotation?
No, because those guys also are guys that regularly pitch through 6 innings.
Seguno on 6 days rest. Kyle Gibson was, I think, about a week away from retirement. And
yes.
Charlie Morton, I think it was, 40 or 41?
Yes. I hear you. That does not...
Our best pitcher still hasn't thrown a bullpen session yet.
Yeah, he's throwing this week.
Yeah.
So
Kovich, who came in the season as our number 8 starter, is now our 5th starter.
I just find it odd that people are turning on ownership, and it hasn't even been a year of new ownership. It's do these people not live through the 14 years of losing? That's all I can understand, is that they joined recently.
But don't you understand, Josh? The context of this is we brought in a very wealthy owner who had more money than he knows what to do with.
Yes.
From a Baltimore guy.
Yes.
Marylander, Baltimore
But
fan.
you realize he's going to spend this money.
Is he?
When? I don't.
Josh?
It's a weird way to start, but I don't want him to spend the money on a ace. Because Gunnar Henderson's going to need $750 million.
You're telling me that Rubenstein can't afford an ace and Gunnar Henderson?
Well, if you noticed, Gunner's going to need an extension. Adley's going to need an extension. Westbrook's going to need an extension.
I'm
Holiday's
sorry.
going to need an
Josh,
extension.
you,
I
you,
want
you
to
were
pay for
trying
our
to
own
start off
guys.
optimism. You were trying to start optimistic, dissing the haters, and then
Yeah.
I just joined in with the haters. I'm sorry.
I know you are.
This is our
You want
opening day show. I am high on the Orioles, despite my concerns with the starting pitching staff.
Do you want to just jump straight into bold predictions?
Okay, yeah, because
Is that what you want to do?
Yeah,
because
we're
Silas
just
is ready.
I don't know what Silas has prepared over there.
And I found my button.
Time now for bold predictions.
All right, so let's go around. Silas, do you want to start and give your first prediction, or give a prediction, or do you want one of us to go first?
You go first.
All right, I'll go first. Okay.
All right.
Well, I know you wrote down Silas in terms of standings and stuff, right?
Yeah.
Did you write down other predictions besides standings, or just standings?
Do you want to start with standings and records?
Yeah, I'll do that.
All right.
Let's start with standings and
Silas,
records.
yeah. Where do you think the Orioles will finish? What do you think their record will be?
I thought you were gonna.
I'll go first. Yeah. You said you said I said I would go first, so I'll go first. Josh, win total. Just for some context here. I love a little context.
All right.
According to Vegas, you're gonna find either 87 or 87.5 wins.
Yeah.
For the Orioles.
I've already put some money down.
Okay. This Josh bet me under. This is second in the AL East. The Yankees are projected to get 89.5 wins.
Yes.
The Red Sox 86.5. So that's kind of where we're at. It's interesting. You look at it's never too early to look at the MLB fan graphs playoff projections.
Okay.
Never too early. They got the Yankees to win the division at 31%. Then the Red Sox at 23.9%.
Okay.
Then the Orioles at 16.8%. Then the Blue Jays at 15%, and the Rays at 12%.
All right.
And one more data point before I share mine. This to me is the most interesting. PECOTA standings, the PECOTA projections. Are you aware of these?
I am not. I mean, I know what they are.
They have the Orioles projected to finish first with 87 wins. Then, Josh, you're not going to believe who they have second. The Blue Jays with 85 wins. Then the Yankees with 85 wins, but a 0.3 compared to a 0.5 for the Blue Jays. And then the Tampa Bay Rays. And then, much to my happiness and delight, the Red Sox at last with 80 wins. So that's where PECOTA is.
All right. Well, I like this context you're putting in because I think part of the context is also when you look at last year's season, which ended with the Yankees with 94 wins, the Orioles with 91 wins, Red Sox 81, Rays 80, and Blue Jays 74. So kind of that's what we're building off of from last season. And I think it's interesting when you look at ESPN this weekend. When was this? Today. Put out their first power rankings, baseball power rankings. And you know the number one team in power rankings.
The Dodgers.
The Dodgers.
Yes.
Number 2 is your Atlanta Braves.
Okay.
Number 3, the Philadelphia Phillies.
Okay.
Number 4, the New York Mets.
We even have the Yankees.
Number 5, the Diamondbacks.
What?
So
Where are the
real heavy National League here.
Where's that Yankee bias?
Number 6, your Baltimore Orioles.
Oh, wow.
The top AL team in power rankings going in.
But I think that's reflective of, I think that's accurate in the sense that I feel like this hasn't been true in a long time. It just feels like the National League is better than the American League this year.
It is. It does.
There's no.
Yes.
It doesn't feel like the Astros aren't what they used to be. The Yankees clearly aren't what they used to be. So it doesn't. There's no. I mean, the Dodgers are on a level, but yeah, it just feels like the National League is the better league this year. So what I have in terms of my prediction, I have the Orioles finishing first in the AL East, despite all the old men pitching for us.
Okay.
We'll get to my bold predictions where I'll predict Jim Palmer will have at least 5 starts for us this year. But I have the Orioles
remember when Jim Palmer tried to do a comeback in the 90s?
Yeah. I have the Orioles finishing first.
I do as well. I also have the Orioles in first.
Okay. I have. What's your win total, Josh?
I have them at 93 wins.
Okay, you're more optimistic.
I've been
Than me.
fluctuating between 92 and 94. So I decided officially I'm going right in the middle at 93.
Yeah, I think they're up in their win total from last year, but not all the way to 93.
Well, so you got 92?
I got 92, yeah.
I look at this team and I can't see this team being less than last year.
Yeah.
So that's how I came up with that.
Silas, are you drinking the orange Kool-Aid, wearing the orange glasses like me and Uncle Josh, or who do you have finishing first?
I have the Yankees with 92.
Boo!
And then I have the Orioles with 90, so.
All right, second place.
Second place.
Good enough for a wild card,
Get
right?
that wild card slot.
Yeah. I have the Yankees finishing second. I think the Rays are third. I actually have the Rays and Blue Jays both with 85 wins. And then I can't tell if it's my bias against Boston. I'm just annoyed how much people are hyped on Boston. Or if it's I just think there's teams like this every year where they kind of win the offseason and they get overhyped and they're really not that good. So I have Boston at 79 wins last.
I am buying the Red Sox.
You are?
And I don't know if it's because of working with a Red Sox fan every day. But I have the Red Sox in second, the Yankees in third, because the injury bug, we can't complain about injuries when you look at the Yankees injuries.
Yeah.
They've gotten hit hard.
Yeah.
I've got the Rays in fourth simply because I think the Rays are a good baseball team. I think playing in Steinbrenner Field is going to wear on them.
You think that's a disadvantage?
I think it's as bad as the Trop is. I think it's a disadvantage. I think the clubhouse isn't going to be up to standards. I think the go into that stadium every day. I think of June, July, August, playing in Florida without a dome and no air conditioning.
Yeah,
and that's going to wear on that team. And I've got the Blue Jays at last because I see the Blue Jays to me are set up to implode.
Right. I mean, they could very easily be 6-7 games out of the wild card at the All-Star break and then just blow it up and trade Bouchette and trade Guerrero and trade Gossman.
Well, they've got Bouchette and Vlad not happy there. 1 extensions. Not sure if they're going to really get them.
Yeah. But if they are, my argument is if they're even somewhat in contention, like they haven't traded any pieces away yet. Like I think they would go all in if they have any shot. So I think they could go one of two ways.
Yes, I can see that, but I'm leaning towards the implosion up north.
Right.
But I also think here's my problem with the AL East. I think first place to last place could be a 5 or 6 game swing. I think it's going to be really tight.
I agree. It doesn't feel like there's a team that's a step ahead of everybody else. It doesn't feel like there's a team that's there's no, like the Orioles used to be for years. There's no one to beat up on in the AL East.
And I think 3 of those teams are going in the playoffs.
Yeah. So it makes this opening series with Toronto and then Boston after Toronto.
Yeah.
Important because they're division games. And this, like we said, this is going to be a close division all year.
Yeah. We're starting with 4 games in Toronto. We need to make an impact.
All against righty starters, by the way. I was looking at that, which I think is the advantage Orioles. A lot of at-bats for Heston Kjerstad. Say that right now.
Now we're
about that.
Well, and I was on a Blue Jays.
Assuming he makes the team.
I've been making the rounds. I was on a Blue Jays podcast earlier this week.
Oh my!
And I was telling them, I said, "You guys signed Santander. Did you look at his stats beforehand? Because he struggles in Canada. So I don't know how he'll do up there."
Okay, I think that's one of the most meaningless, pointless stats.
I think it's because their hot dogs are so bad.
Well, they just don't eat the hot dogs.
Maybe so. Silas, do you have another prediction for us? Or a topic that you'd like us to give predictions on?
Yeah,
you can give yours.
What are some things you wrote down? It could be about anything related to the Orioles.
Or is it all about your little league?
It's not all about my little league.
I saw you got a big hit this week.
I got a couple big hits, but
Me too, Silas. I got a triple yesterday.
Oh, Silas got a triple too in his game. Did the ball go all the way to the fence like his?
Yeah. Yeah, all the way out there.
Look at Uncle Josh still with the speed.
A little bit.
Was there some overthrows?
No.
Okay.
No, there was not.
Okay. Seth, do you want to share something you wrote or no? All right.
Well, let's just get to ours. And when Silas, anytime you're ready, you can share your predictions.
Yeah, either what you have written down or come up with something else. Okay, Josh. I'll start with this. I think an Oriole player, this is classic bold prediction stuff. Oriole player will finish, and I'm being a little bit conservative here with my bold prediction. Are you going to hit the button for me?
Oh, sorry.
Jeez, what are you even doing over there, button lover?
It's been a while. I had to find the button
Time
and dust
now
it off.
for bold predictions.
All right, I'm saying an Oriole player will finish in the top 2 for MVP voting.
That's lame.
Well, here's the bonus, Josh.
Because
Top
I picked
5.
top 1.
Okay, and it's not going to be Gunnar Henderson.
All right, well, I've got Gunnar at number 1.
Okay, and I got 2 Orioles finishing the top 5 for MVP.
All right.
One of them's Gunnar, and the other one's not.
All right, who's your other Oriole in the top?
Josh, you can hate on this all you want, and you can not like me to say this, but I'm going to say it anyway.
It better not be Heston Kjerstad.
Adley Rutschman.
All right, I would love to see
That
that.
kid is due. I think there's 2 people on this squad where I think we're sleeping on their greatness. Adley Rutschman, had a down year,
Yes,
and people acting like now he's an average.
he gained
catcher.
weight. He looks
Yeah.
a lot better in spring training. You saw I jumped on that right away.
Yeah, and he has good numbers
Yes.
in spring training. He is, the face of the franchise. Like before Gunnar hit the scene, right? This was Adley's team. He was the face of the franchise, and I think he's going to get back to that status this year. So I think we're sleeping on him a little bit. I think he's not just a good catcher; he's a superstar, and he's going to show it this year.
I would love that. I would love him to step out. He's supposed to be the face, not Gunnar, and I'd love to see him take that step.
Yeah, he's supposed to be on the cover of MLB The Show.
Yes, yes, he is. Jesus in cleats.
Yeah. So the reincarnation of Matt Wieters.
Yeah. Now, that
Does
that
the
causes-
Gunnar MVP thing, does that concern you at all? It was announced, Josh. You don't pay attention, so I'm telling you, you don't do show prep. Gunnar Henderson's not making the opening day roster.
I know he's on the 10-day IL.
Yeah. He's starting on the injured list.
Yes.
When
Doesn't
does that? I
concern me.
don't even know when does that start. Does the 10-day IL, can that start whenever it wants, or does it have to start in the first game of the season?
Oh, I don't know. I don't
Does
know
it
how
count
that works.
off days? I don't know either.
Right,
But
right.
and that's a whole. Maybe we'll talk about it later. That's a whole interesting situation, by the way. What's going to happen at shortstop?
I love I mean, Holiday was scheduled to play it the other day. I like Holiday at short.
I don't like that. Don't like it.
Well, yeah. We can talk about that
Yeah,
now or
like
later.
Holiday at
Because you're right.
second.
I do like the idea of keeping Holiday and Westberg in their regular positions and just throwing Mateo in there.
Yeah, because what
Yes.
happens is you put Holiday at short,
Right.
then Westbrook goes to second, then your Reyes goes. It just messes
Yes.
everything up.
But
Josh, my
Your only other
concern-
option is Mateo, and the question is Mateo making this roster, or is he getting put on the IL? We don't know yet.
Okay, but if he doesn't make the roster, and we'll know hopefully by tomorrow, it's going to be one of these, Soto.
Yeah, but do you want Soto at short? No. Do you want Urias at short? No.
Do you want Westbrook at short?
No. It's Holiday.
No, I don't know. And given his struggles last year, I don't want to mess with Holiday, have him start at short for 2 weeks, then back at second. He didn't play a ton in spring training at short, just a couple games. I just like the idea of not messing with Holiday. And then, yeah, I also like the kind of domino
The
effect when
consistency.
you move one guy there.
Yeah.
So I hope that Mateo can be that guy's shortstop. I hope
so.
I hope he can play. I hope he
Me
can start
too.
short, at least till Gunnar. And we don't think Gunner's going to be long, thankfully.
No, I think he'll be. And
I think you should put Holiday at short until Gunnar gets back.
And then put Westbrook at second?
Yeah.
And Urias at third?
is
Yeah.
there a reason Urias cannot play second base?
I think he
Why?
can. I think he has in the past.
Or why not put him or Soto at second base? And so then you're at least not moving Westberg.
Yeah, you could do that too.
So All right, my since we're talking end of year awards,
Yeah.
I believe I given this one up earlier in spring training, but I've got the rookie of the year
Oh yeah.
in Tamioku Saguna.
He'll
A
collect his rookie of the
35-year-old
year
rookie of
as
the
he turns
year.
35 years old. Yeah.
Yes, yes. I know. You laugh at his age. He looked outstanding in Sarasota. I think the age gives him a little bit of an advantage to adapt better.
Said no athlete ever. Yeah, go ahead.
And I think he's going to be outstanding and win rookie of the year.
Well, I hope so. I mean, because there are some question marks in this rotation, and that would be a boon for us if we can have him actually be a good pitcher.
Agreed.
Because he is, for me, going in, spring training sets aside, they can be deceiving. He's a bit of a wild card. I'm curious to see what we get out of him.
Yeah.
And I'm curious about his longevity and the 5-day rest and just a change in the pitching in America and all that.
Have you seen the music he comes out to when he pitches?
No. Is this real? Oh, yeah. Okay. No, he can't take that music. He can't steal that from our boy.
No, I know. I just found that button when I was looking for bold predictions.
I was like, I've heard this song before.
Yes.
And I was like, oh, yeah.
Yeah, I don't think starters come out to music.
Yeah, that's a great walk-up song, though.
It is. It's one of my favorite. I wish someone else would steal it.
Yeah. Silas, maybe we should consider that, too, for a walk-up song for you.
Yes. What was Silas's walk-up song this week?
High hopes.
High hopes.
Oh, High Hopes. All right.
Yeah.
All right. Some Oriole players using High Hopes.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I kind of got the disco.
Yes.
To be honest, I reached out to former. Well, I didn't reach out to Bert. I don't talk to Bert. I reached out to Laura and said, "Hey."
Yeah, blowing up my phone with her all defensive that Bert doesn't pick these songs.
Oh yeah. Well, anyway, I asked her, and Albie last year, Bert's son Albie last year used High Hopes, and so last night we listened to a few, and he picked High Hopes. So and it worked well because he hit the ball well.
Yeah, that one works.
Yeah. Next bold prediction. This is in going with the power category. Josh, are you aware last year, the Baltimore Orioles last year as a team, I had forgotten this. I had to go back and look it up. That I knew we were good offensively last year, despite kind of the second half and certainly the playoff woes. But in terms of home runs last year, we were second in all of baseball, only behind the Yankees.
Yes.
235 home runs.
Yes.
So my bold prediction is last year we hit 235. This year, my bold prediction is we're going to hit, wait for it, 250.
Okay.
In terms of home runs.
All right. I like that number. That falls in line with me, and I wrote down that 6 players will hit 20-plus home runs.
Stop it. I have 6 players will hit 25 or more home runs this year.
Okay. I could have easily made it 25 and agreed with you. Let's see if we match on players.
All right. Let's go down the list and let's see if we do.
All right. Gunnar Henderson.
Of course.
Adley Rutschman.
Yes.
Colton Cowser.
And by the way, Adley Rutschman had 19 last year, so he's going to need to up his game.
Colton Cowser.
Yes. And Colton Cowser might surprise you. He had 24 last year.
Yes.
And yeah, I think he's going to up that number.
All right, so I think those 3 are obvious.
Yeah, Adley, Gunnar, and Colton. Yeah.
Next, I've got Ryan Mountcastle.
Me too.
Because of the wall.
The wall. Yeah. And last year was a little bit of a funky year for him. He missed some games.
Yeah, the vertigo.
Yeah. And he struggled. So I think it's going to be a good bounce back year for him.
How much do you think the vertigo was caused by him looking out to the field and the walls just didn't make sense to him?
It was so far away.
Yeah, it was so far away. He was losing balance. He was like, it's never there.
Out there shooting water. He's like, what is happening? Is there a waterfall out there? Right. See mirages, rainbows because of the water.
All right.
Yeah, it could be
next, I've got Jackson Holiday.
Oh, he did not make my top 6 list.
Ooh. Do you know how many Jackson Holiday hit last year?
Not a lot, maybe 7.
I think 5.
Okay.
But that was struggling really struggling. So I see him. He came in stronger. He's been on that beef diet, and I see that getting 25 home runs.
Yeah, I mean, in his defense, he didn't play the whole season last year. Right?
Exactly.
He played, a third of the season. So,
Yeah.
All right, give me
still
someone
only
off your list.
15. Did you say all your 6? No, we're the
No.
same until that.
No,
I know who your next guy is.
Oh, really? Who?
Yeah, Westy.
It is not Westy.
What? Jordan Westburg isn't on your list?
No, he's a double machine. I don't know if I see that translate into the home runs,
Really?
even with the shorter wall.
Because
I love Westy.
mine. It's a combination of the shorter wall. Last year, again, he missed a handful of games, right, in the second half of the season.
Yes.
And so he's going to play presumably every day, right? So
Right.
he's going to. I mean, he had 18 home runs in 170 games. He'll play in 40 or 50 more games this year.
Yeah, that's true. I love Westy. I just wanted to make it a little bolder.
Okay. Because I have one more guy on my list. Because that's
all right. Who's your guy?
Adley, Gunnar, Westy, Mountcastle, Colton, and you know who my 6th guy is. I think he might lead the team in home runs.
And I might agree with you on this guy.
Okay, you go
this
with Heston.
guy, huh? Good old Heston.
Heston Kjerstad.
It all depends on playing time. He's got the power.
Yes,
but he is who
I thought
wraps up my list as well.
Machine was going to be on the list. No, okay.
No, Machine did not make the team. So, though we will see Machine at some point this season.
We'll see.
If he continues playing that way in Norfolk.
Yeah, or we'll see him on someone else's team.
True. But yeah, Kjerstad, it's all about playing time and how they get him on the field.
Okay, so it's funny, we both had 6 guys. I had Westy, you had Holiday.
Yeah, I could have easily added Westberg and done 7. That's true.
Now, keep in mind, last year, only 2 guys hit 25 or more home runs on our team.
Yeah.
And one of them is not even here anymore. So,
yes. But we're bringing the wall in.
Bold predictions. Yeah, we're bringing the wall in.
And there's also something about protection that when your entire lineup is this strong, that you got a little protection. They're gonna give you pitches because they don't want to face the guy behind you.
Yeah, and we're banking on, in the case of, at least for me, Westy, and in the case for both of us, Mountcastle, we're banking on health here. We're banking on
improvements.
Improvements.
Yes.
And that's another, and I'll transition this to my next bold prediction, because there's 2, in my mind, sleeping giants on this team. I think Adley Rutschman, people are falling asleep on him. I think he's a superstar. Yeah. The other person, because he had a rough half a season, they're falling asleep on him. People forget how we talked about him a year ago, and that's Jackson Holliday.
I agree.
I mean, people talked about Jackson Holliday like they'd never seen anything like this guy go through the minors.
Yes.
And now they're like, oh, he had a down year. I think by the end of the year, Jackson Holliday will be hitting leadoff for us.
I agree with that as well.
And be one of the best leadoff hitters in baseball. I think Jackson Holliday is going to be a superstar this year.
Here's my bold prediction. He's going to start in the 8 or 9 hole.
Yes.
But he's going to have to, because he has to prove himself after last season. But I totally think he'll be the leadoff guy.
I think if you look at WAR, this is my nerd stat in terms of WAR. I think Gunnar, Adley, and Holiday are going to combine for over a 15 WAR. I think that's going to be the one that's going to 3-headed monster.
So you're saying they're averaging around 4 points each.
Around 5. Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe. I'm super high on Adley this year. Like maybe he gets 6 or something. And
you're really getting high on Adley.
I just love it. I just love it. I just think he's motivated after last year. You go back and look at what he did in college. He is a polished superstar.
Yes.
Who I think maybe kind of lost his way a little bit second half of the season. It happens.
Girlfriend,
refocused.
Chick-fil-A,
whatever it was. TikTok, Top Golf, whatever it was. He's refocused and he's going to crush it this year. So yeah,
I love how high you are on Adley because I feel the same way about Jackson Holliday.
Yeah,
I think last season was the first time in his life that he struggled at something and had to be humbled. And I see him coming back so motivated this season.
Oh, yeah. How do you think Holiday and Adley spent their offseason? Because you listen to the Baseball Tonight podcast, too. They're talking about Adley Rutschman second half. They're talking about maybe was the weight on. Like this conversation is not just us, Josh. Like people in national media are talking about this. You think Adley's hearing that? And Jax Holiday, same thing. Hyped.
Yes.
Struggled. He knows that. Jax Holiday does not seem like the type of guy who like struggles and gets home and gets depressed like I would and eat bonbons and drink beer and watch TV all day because I had a bad year. No, he's working his butt off this offseason.
Yeah. There was no
Adley
Rutschman rolling around working out in the snow this year.
No.
Because he was more focused, not, hey, let's make a cute video for TikTok.
Yes. I really think that TikTok was the downfall.
Do you think rolling around in the snow is a good workout, or do you think it's something you do for video?
Yeah. No, Josh, I'm with you. I think there's that Netflix show Adolescence that talks about the danger of social media with young people. With incel. There should be another one.
You think Adley's an incel?
With Adley, no, there's a separate category.
Okay.
Of athletes who could be superstars, but social media has turned them into prima donnas and destroying them as athletes or something. I think there's something there for another Netflix series.
I like your angle.
Okay.
Yes.
Anything else?
Would Michael Jordan have been Michael Jordan if he had TikTok? Nope. No. He'd be focused on the swipes.
Sas just in the middle of a pretty long Michael Jordan biography. Learns himself Michael Jordan.
Nice. Yeah. All right. Here, I'll share a prediction for you.
All right.
Let's see.
You ready to go after Uncle Josh? The prediction?
This July, the Orioles will make 0 trades.
Oh.
We will not add a single person outside the organization. Instead, we will get addition through the IL as we get Bradish and Wells back and into this rotation. Wells goes into the bullpen, Bradish goes into the rotation to get us through that second half, and Kittredge as well back into that bullpen to help us with that final push.
Let me ask you a question, Josh. The Grayson Rodriguez, I'm going to put you a spot here. Grayson Rodriguez.
Yes.
He's going to throw a bullpen this week, I think.
Yes.
First time throwing. He's not going to be started the year on the injury list. What would you be? Like, what would your over under number for Grayson Rodriguez games started for the Orioles this season? Where would you put that number at?
How many did he start last year?
Oh, put me on the spot here. 30 maybe? I don't know.
Because I think, all right, 2020, when I look at games, 20 games last year.
Yeah, just 20. Yeah.
23 the year before.
30 would be like he was there all year. Healthy.
Yes.
Would be like around 30.
So I'm going to go, well, no, I think 40, closer to 40 is a full season. But I'm going to expect him for 25 games.
I mean, Corbin Burns, they just pulled it up. Corbin Burns threw, I mean, he threw 194 innings last year, and he started 32 games. So I think that's
okay. All right,
how many games you said? What's the over under said?
I said, well, let's go with the 2023 number of 23 for over under.
Shoo. Okay.
So that's missing about 9 starts.
Yeah. Okay. Josh is just like chugging the orange Kool-Aid today. I love it.
What do you think he's going to be? You think he's out half a season?
Yeah, I would put it at 10.
That you think he's going to start 10 games?
Yeah. That's where I would start the over under.
No, but I thought your question is what would I consider a success?
10.
Okay.
I said, what do you think? Because
20.
You think 20?
I think he's probably more around 20.
I mean, there's no way to know. It's an arm injury. There's no way to know. I'm just not optimistic that he's going to pitch the majority of the games.
Yeah.
And that makes my decisions around trade deadline and pitching a little bit different maybe than yours.
Well, and it depends. It really depends how the retirement club does.
Yeah. And I think it's likely. And so, like, I think the opposite. I think they're going to trade for an ace. I think they're going to trade for an ace at the deadline. And
I don't see it.
And my logic is, Josh, I'm assuming Grayson
Why?
is coming back healthy because you have, as you mentioned, an
Bradish.
aging population
Yes.
as your pitching staff, who I think might wear down the second half of the season. So you bring in reinforcements. I don't think Kyle Bradish is enough.
You
And
don't
even
think
if he
that's
does
your
come
ace?
back, he'll be in kind of limited. No, I don't think he's enough of an ace coming back from injury like that. So I think you need
And
to bring in
that's
another ace, and then Kyle Bradish can slide in, less pressure off him. I don't know how many innings he'll be able to pitch this coming season if he can come back healthy. So
And
no,
I
I
think-
think we're going to trade for an ace.
and I think that's also colored by the fact that you are negative about Grayson Rodriguez this season.
Sure. Yeah, that's why I asked the Grayson Rodriguez question
Yeah.
because, I mean, if Grayson Rodriguez comes back in May and looks excellent,
Right.
then my thinking changes there.
Right. If Grayson can pitch 23 games, you don't need to make that move. If
Well,
he
yeah.
pitches 10, you need to make that move.
Sure. It depends when he pitches them too. Yeah. But
Sure. Yes. All right. Your turn for a prediction.
Sass, you got a prediction?
What's all over that piece of paper?
I don't know. He's got words written there. He just doesn't want to read them.
You don't want to share them? All right, Matt, share one of yours.
All right. I just have one last one, and this might not. This is just more of a prediction. It's not even that bold. Maybe it's not bold because I talked to you too much, and I think we're on the same page with this. But I think Colton Cowser is at some point in June is going to become the everyday center fielder of the Baltimore Orioles.
I shared that with someone this week as well. I am on board with you. I don't know why I am so low on Cedric Mullins.
I don't either.
I haven't even, I talk all the time about the eye test, where it's like Adley's numbers last year were fine, but he never passed the eye test to make it look like he was getting better. And I want to look at Cedric Mullins and where's his, has his batting average been going down? Let's see. Last year,
yeah,
he batted 234.
Yeah.
Year before that, 233. Year before that, 258, 291, 271. That 2021 year with the 291, that was that outlier year. And that was the year where he got 30 home runs, 30 stolen bases. That was the year that that excited us, and then it's been downhill.
It was this great story. He went down the year before, come back up. Yeah. He stopped being a switch hitter. It was that's the thing. Yeah.
Right. And you look at that and it's like, well, he struggled the year before. And that's when he batted 271. And that year before average, he hasn't hit or been close to since then.
Yeah. But I still think his numbers read to me like a valuable fourth outfielder, really good defensively.
As a fourth outfielder, yes.
Yeah. And then, but you combine, it's not just Cedric, there's other factors here too, right? Like Cedric Mullins, and this is a little bit of our bias. I think we like the young players with high potential.
Yeah. It is
Cedric
a contract
Mullins,
year for Cedric. So I do not see an extension for Cedric.
No, there's zero chance.
Yes. He's kind of in Santander territory there.
Yeah, and so you hope, maybe he has a Santander type year. Hope he has a breakout year.
Then we could move him in July.
Yeah, or we could ride him as our everyday center fielder.
True.
Either way, we can have that discussion when we come to it. But given the fact that, this feels like kind of his last hurrah as the everyday center fielder, and I don't even based off last year, and you look at who else is on this roster. I think you make a legit argument that for opening day, he should be your fourth outfielder, right? If you got Tyler O'Neill out there, I'm high on Heston Kjerstad. You have Colton Cowser out there.
I really like Colton in center, O'Neill in left, and Kjerstad in right. Yeah. And then that lets you put O'Hearn as DH.
Yep.
Because when you put Mullins,
time for Ramon Liriano to play too,
right?
We paid $5 million to.
Yeah, because if you put Mullins at center, then that means Kjerstad or O'Hearn or O'Neill, you're not getting that bat in the lineup. You're pushing one of those guys out.
Yeah.
So I'm on board with you for that one. I don't think it's that bold, but as the
It's that well in the
veteran.
sense that how long? Cedric Mullins has been the starting center fielder for us for the last 4 or 5 years.
Yeah, 2018.
No, it's 2018 is when he
But
walked out there with Adam Jones. But
yeah, 2021 is when he's played 159 games, 156, 116, 147. So yeah, he's been the set guy there.
yeah.
Um,
Oh, the only other note I have is MVO. But do you have any more bold predictions?
I do. I have Samuel Basello.
Oh yeah, when's his start
here.
date? We always play the. We got to get a debut date.
Yeah, I have by June 30th.
Okay.
I have by June 30th.
Is there a specific? Or did you open up the Orioles calendar and look at
I did
the
not
schedule?
I did not look at a home game. I'm just saying by the end of June.
Oh, okay.
And I
so
don't-
you don't
and
even know
I-
who they're playing.
No, I think June 30th. I think June is one of those months that only has 30 days, and that's why I picked June 30th.
Okay.
And I think it is Gary Sanchez that loses out because you're not replacing Adley. You're not going to carry 3 catchers.
That's going
so
to be at the Texas Rangers.
Okay, sure. That'll be good because they've got Jonah Heim, former Orioles catcher. We can show, look, we didn't need you. We've got Adley and Basello.
Yeah. That's going to be interesting to watch. If he starts off gangbusters.
Yeah, it's going to be really interesting because he could be really hot in Norfolk and kind of forcing his way up. But as the catcher position,
Right.
you're not going to move Adley out of that spot.
No, you're going to have to come up with him kind of, I think, as a DH in mind.
But then you lose O'Hearn.
Okay.
Because if you bring him up in like a DH role, then you're looking at, well, DH, maybe catch a little, maybe Adley can play a little first base. So I think Sanchez has to go and he becomes the Sunday catcher.
Okay.
And then you mix him in the DH as well.
Basilio Betts left. No, for me, I think Ryan O'Hearn becomes on the hot seat more than Gary Sanchez to be caught up. That's in my opinion.
You think you carry 3 catchers?
I think you carry 3 catchers with the mindset that
they could play first as well.
Right,
Adley could play first.
Right, but the Basilio will be a regular DH, and you'll swap Adley and Basilio with DH.
Okay. Yes.
And then when they play DH, you want to have that third catcher just in case. And Ryan O'Hearn, like if you want to break down, we were critical of Cedric Mullins and some of his numbers. We can have similar conversations,
yes.
not quite to the extent, but we can have a similar conversation, Josh, if we want to get detailed.
And you know what?
O'Hearn's number.
Sanchez also has experience at first base as well. So you're right. O'Hearn could really be the guy on the hot seat.
Yeah. So I do think this is a kind of a big year for O'Hearn. So
All right.
in terms of holding that spot down, that platoon spot down.
Then I've got
Basilio with the lefty, just like O'Hearn as well.
I've got one more bold prediction, and this is probably my boldest of all predictions.
Oh, here we go.
By September, Gunnar Henderson or Adley Rutschman gets an extension, gets a contract extension.
I don't know. It's
Something we haven't seen the Orioles do before.
Gunnar is Scott Boras. Is Adley Scott Boras too?
No, Adley is not. So if Adley comes out and has the type of season you are predicting, then Adley could get that. But I can see Rubenstein is an Orioles fan. He's a baseball fan. He's got money. He understands the metrics of baseball right now. He knows that Gunnar Henderson's going to get that $750 million somewhere. So I can see him making the decision to call up Scott Boras and be like, look, I know you're going to take him to the open market. I know this is what you want. Let's just do this. Let's make him the face of this organization for 10 years. He's the next Cal for the city of Baltimore. Let's just get it done. I can see that happening.
And
I'm always negative about Scott Boras clients.
Yeah.
But the fact that we have a new owner in, I'm actually going to lean on that as I think they could work something out.
Well, I wonder from Mike Elias's perspective, Josh, it seems to me, I don't know what the numbers are. I'm sure Elias has a grapple of this. But when you sign a guy like Gunnar, we saw the Royals sign Bobby Witt.
Yeah,
We see people
generational.
do this sometimes. Yeah, it seems this is not like a Chris Davis signing where you're signing a first baseman after he's had his best years and you're signing him.
Right.
It seems like signing these young players, buying out their arbitration years, give them a ton of money up front, works out typically for the team. Like,
and it's an important position.
Gunner will cost a lot of money now. He will cost even more money, right, in 5 years.
Yes.
And so from Mike Elias's perspective, it might, it be appealing to him to pay more now, which
and
in the end will save Mike Elias money.
Right. And that's where it's nice to have
us.
a finance guy as well in that ownership role.
Yeah.
Versus a lawyer who's been, because with Peter Angelos,
Rubenstein knows about investments. Yeah.
Right. Peter Angelos, is thinking, well, when I bought the team in 92, I paid less than that for the entire team. I'm not going to give you that money.
Yeah.
Or whenever he bought it, mid-90s.
No, but that would be a bold, that would be amazing.
Yeah.
It's something we've been calling for. I think that's another thing, Josh, why some people have been a little bit critical of Rubenstein too, is we thought this offseason maybe there'll be an extension now that he has all this money.
Right.
And we haven't seen any extensions yet either with any young players.
Yeah. So I think it's let's see one more year and then mid-season, hey, let's get this done. And I think the writing's on the wall that you want Gunner to stay here.
Yeah. All right, cool. Who's your most valuable Oriole this year? I've hinted at it. I'm going with Adley Rutschman. Josh, you going with? I'm going to put that on the spot asking who he thinks will be the best Oriole player this year.
I'm going with Gunnar Henderson because I have him as the league MVP.
Okay.
So I think he gets it again.
So if he's the league MVP, he's probably the Orioles MVP.
Correct. Though it's tempting to go with Jackson Holiday.
Yeah.
But I'm going Gunnar.
You could also make cases for Jordan Westberg. We know how important he is to the team. Felix Bautista maybe has an outside chance if he can get back.
I didn't mention my All-Stars.
We didn't talk to All-Stars.
Ooh, that woke up Silas.
But
I wrote down.
Who do you think is going to be the most valuable Oriole?
Jackson Holiday.
All right, so we all got different players. That's with Jackson Holiday.
All right.
I got Adley. You got Gunner. Like it.
I wrote down that the Orioles will have 6 All-Star game representatives this year.
Okay.
Silas, can you name my 6?
Gunnar Henderson.
Yes.
Adley Rutschman.
Yes.
Probably your most valuable Oriole. Your most valuable Oriole.
Jackson Holiday.
There's the 3rd.
We got to have the pitchers in. If you're going to get 6, you got to have some pitchers in there.
I've got 2 pitchers in there.
Okay.
Yes, go with that.
Bautista.
Yes, I've got Felix Bautista All-Star game.
And then don't tell me you got your boy Seguno.
I got my boy Seguna.
I'm just you're setting yourself up. You're so disappointed, Seguna guy.
I know I am.
Bad for you. Okay.
And my last guy is Jordan Westberg.
Okay.
Those are my 6. I know I'm all in on Seguna. All based. Yeah, I tell you all the time that the spring stats mean nothing, especially for the pitchers. And here I am basing everything on the way that guy pitched in spring.
Yeah. I'm going to go with just 3 All-Stars, a little more conservative, Adley, Gunner, and Holiday.
Oh, you're not giving Bautista? Are you worried about Bautista?
I have a little bit. I think it could take him a little bit to get back to form. I think the Orioles are going to slow play him. I think if he looks kind of not good one day, they'll give him extra day rest. So I think by the second half of the season, he's going to be elite. But I think there could be some bumps in the first half. And those All-Star selections come so early. So,
this week, as I was preparing for this, I do what I think I did this last season as well, where I went on over to good old Chat GPT.
Oh, yeah.
Helps all your college students.
I forget.
It helps your college students get to A's. So I figured, let me see. And I said, all right, Chat GPT, I want you to be really bold. Like, don't come up with just simple things, bold things that I would not think of.
Oh, yeah. What did ChatGPT say?
Grayson Rodriguez in the top 3 in Cy Young voting.
Yeah, that's bold.
I do not
They
think
haven't
that's
got the
going to
latest
happen.
injury news. Yeah, I mean, that would have been on my list, Josh, prior to the
Yeah.
injury.
Yeah. Jackson Holiday finishes in top 5 in AL batting average.
Oh, and that's a weird one.
Yeah, that's an
Okay.
interesting one because I can almost see that.
I would have to look at my batting average numbers. I don't even know.
Yes.
Like, what is a top 5? Is that like 320, 330? What's the top 5?
It'd be over 3. Yeah.
Right. It'd be over 300.
Yeah. Probably like 312, 315, I'd guess.
You have no idea.
No. I like this one I like that ChatGPT thought this one was really bold. Heston Kjerstad becomes the everyday DH and slugs 500 plus.
Okay.
Okay.
More normal.
Really bold. Way to go,
Yeah.
ChatGPT.
And here's my okay, 2 more that I really like.
Okay.
I really like Keegan Aiken becomes the Orioles surprise closer by July.
That would be bold.
That'd be ridiculous.
That would also be a lot of injuries have happened. That would be
And
a
here
scary place.
is my favorite of the bold predictions from ChatGPT. The O's make a blockbuster trade at the deadline for this pitcher.
Oh, who is it?
New ownership goes all in, and this person becomes the ace and stays in Baltimore long term.
That's what I'm called. That's what I say. We're gonna trade for an ace this break. We're on the same
Yes.
page here. Me and ChatGPT.
ChatGPT says it will be Corbin Burns, that they will bring him back.
That would be insanely bold.
That would be so bold. Yes.
Yeah. That's wonderful. Hey, Silas wrote down while we were talking, Silas wrote down his all-stars. Who you got there, Silas?
I got Jackson.
Speak loud to the mic.
I got Jackson Holiday, Gunnar Henderson, Adley Watchman, and Felix Bautista.
I like it.
Yeah.
Works for me.
Good list. Good list. All right, so we're feeling good about the season. Josh, have you bought a plane ticket to Toronto? Are you going to go up there?
No, I am going to hop on here and do a post-game show from home. So I'm going to hop on and do a little Birdland Today live stream after the game.
Are you going to do 162 games post game?
I'm not committing to 162 games. I'm committing to as many as I can do, starting with opening day. And you're welcome to join me anytime.
Are you going to bring in special guests, special co-hosts?
Not sure. Nothing's planned. I just decided I'm going to do this.
All right.
So you are welcome to come on, or Silas can come on anytime after the game, and we can talk.
Silas has an 8:00 bedtime during the week, but
I know, but the opening day is at 3:00, so the post game show is going to be like 5:45.
All right, just wrap it up before the Maryland game.
That's the plan. It's a little pregame.
Yeah, love it. I'm pumped about Thursday. Pumped about opening day.
What time's the Terps game?
I think 7:15 or 7:30.
Oh, that's perfect.
Yeah, it's
perfect.
perfect.
Finish the Oriole game, get some dinner, turn on the Terps.
Yeah.
Hopefully a little less stress than this Bass game.
Silas has Little League practice at 6. So the Orioles got to finish up, then Little League practice, then get back for the Maryland game.
You might need to miss that practice. Priorities.
I'm taking it back for at least the second game of the game. Second half.
Second half. All right.
Yeah. All right. Hey, next week we did all baseball day, Josh. Good for us. We did an hour of Orioles baseball talk
because we finally made it to opening day.
Okay, I have some other non-Oriole topics to get to. We'll save it.
All right, but next week we get to talk about games that actually happen and matter.
What about all my notes that are non-baseball related? When am I going to these now?
We'll get to them. We always have
next off season.
No. We used to have a segment for off topic.
Yeah. My next time we have time, Josh, my topic is, so I don't forget, it's cheap or frugal. I've been very self-reflective this past week, and I've noticed there are times when I try to be so frugal. You know I am how I am with money, but sometimes I think I cross the line and it goes cheap, and people in my life suffer from my cheapness. And so I want to do a frugal cheap segment because I'm not even sure anymore where the line is.
You know, I'm told that I'm not allowed to pick out hotels anymore because I lean towards the cheap part instead of, and I'm told I'm being too cheap.
Yeah. That's one of the reasons why I do the Marriott thing. Spring Hill Suites is where we stay in the Marriott because I know it's going to be his hotel. Because I do the same way. You can get really great hotel deals.
Yes.
but it's a bit of a wild card.
Yeah,
You
it
don't know
becomes
where you're
like
staying.
that hotel we had in New Orleans.
Yeah, exactly. Where if you're looking for the best deal, and if it's just me, that's fine. But then when other people get involved, it gets a little more complicated.
All right, well, let's play that game next week.
All right, we'll do it next week, and we'll talk about some opening day stuff. We didn't also talk about. There's so much to talk about. Some upgrades, including a sound system upgrades and some other upgrades, some stuff they're doing with kids. I'm not exactly sure what this is, but bring kids down. We'll have to get to that next week too.
I looked into that, and we'll get into that next week. Maybe we should record on Sunday because then it'll be before the home opener, and we can cover all that stuff.
Yeah,
we'll see.
Yeah, that sounds good.
So, all
right, good episode. So, thanks for staying up with us. Appreciate you.
One day we'll get your own microphone so you can talk. I think that's just confused them.
Yeah. Well, that's why you got to watch we stream right on Instagram and Facebook and all these places. You got to watch the stream to get Todd's reactions when the words don't count.
Correct.
Yeah. All right. Let's get out of here. Boys and girls, follow us all season long. We'll be here for you every week.
Yeah. Remember, you can go to a game with us on May 4th.
Oh, yeah. May 4th.
Just reach out.
Me and Sas will be there. Josh will be there. And hopefully a bunch of other 336 coconuts will be there as well.
So just reach out, send me a message, or we have it all on the website as well.
All right. Sounds good. Go to Apple Podcasts, give us 5 stars, subscribe, tell your friends, all that good stuff. Spread the love of the show as you get pumped up for Orioles baseball. You can follow us on all your social media platforms. Just look for Section 336. You can follow me on X at Section 336. Yeah.
We did get a new review this week.
Oh, a new review. Okay.
Yeah. Now,
is it a 5 stars or is it not worth reading? It's not 5 stars. I don't want to hear it.
It was 5 stars. See, it's not coming up yet on Apple Podcasts. I got an email about reviewing it, and the guy was just praising the show. Said the only negative is that we need to warn people when we're heading to commercial. And that would have been something good for me to remind you of before we started the show.
Yeah, this has been an ongoing issue. This has been an ongoing issue for us and our listeners.
Yeah, so we apologize. We will work on trying to remember to do that next week.
Yeah, all right. It's on our list to work on. This is our 2025 season resolution to get better with commercials.
Well, once the season starts, we kind of start some show notes. We're better at sharing show notes during the season. So we can put in those show notes commercial breaks.
Yeah, we had very few breaks in the action this episode. We just ran right through it.
Yeah.
It's a sprint.
All right, let's get out of here.
All right. Insert commercial. Now, let's get out of here. I said you were ready to follow me on X. You can follow Josh on X.
At Josh Deroka.
Thanks for listening, boys and girls. And as always, go Orioles.
And Terps.
And Terps.
Good evening. Now, I know it's a hot night and you all want to get to the baseball. So as soon as I throw this sucker, grab a drink, enjoy the game. Best of luck to both teams. Oh, scratch that. We're at Camden Yards. Go Orioles!